What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, talking about Pot of Desires and what the fuck is going on with this card. If you guys have not checked out the secondary market today, Pot of Desires is basically shot up to $100 a pop, and I do not understand the rhyme or reason. I am flabbergasted. I don't really have words for this because I don't understand why this card is basically doubled in price. I mean, I literally did a market watch about a day ago, and Pot of Desires was sitting at, I don't know, maybe like $53, $54, and then just like within the span of one day it has gone to $100, and I can't really understand why, because I don't think that there's a YCS, or like, are there even any, I mean, maybe there's a regional today, maybe something crazy happened, but there could be like a you know, maybe an ARG going on. But what exactly has gone on that has caused this card to basically double in price in the span of a day? Because it's not like people are just now realizing that Pot of Desires is good. Most people have, you're pretty much on either side of the fence at this point. You're not going to change your mind. You either think Pot of Desires is like fantastic and great like I do, or you just don't like it because of the drawback. You have to banish a quarter of your deck. So I don't really understand why this card has really shot up in price when there doesn't really seem to be any explanation. Now the thing is, I'm building my Utopia deck IRL, and I've, you know, been picking up the cards over the last couple of weeks or whatever. I'm still waiting for Utopia reprint before I go ahead and pick the lightnings up. But I even panicked last night because I was just on eBay and I was like, okay, you know, I think this is a good time to pick up a couple of common instant fusions. They're not going to get reprinted anytime soon. Might as well just go ahead and try and pick those up. And I did a search on Pot of Desires, and the card last night was at like $70. And I was like, huh, why did this card go up $20 for no reason? So I actually got scared and I bit the bullet, and I ended up picking up two of them for $59 a pop. I was like, holy crap, what if Pot of Desires is going to go up? But I never thought this. And even on eBay, some of these prices on eBay haven't caught up yet, but you can see some of them, bam, $110 or best offer, you know, $250 for a playset. Like, some of these haven't caught up yet, but I'm pretty sure that some of these auctions are going to probably be bought like extremely fast. In fact, there was a copy on TCG Player that was $58, I think, shipped, and it sold in the process of me literally making this video. Like, if I would have done this video maybe 10 minutes sooner, the copy of that card would have actually been still on there. But does anyone know the reason for this? This is very reminiscent. Some of you guys might not remember this because maybe you started playing during Zexal, maybe you started playing during Arc V. But if you remember the 5Ds era, this is very reminiscent of Pot of Duality. Pot of Duality came out in Duelist Revolution, and it was originally printed as a secret rare. I remember when it got reprinted as a super rare, it was like one of the biggest reprints ever. But that was a card that was very divisive, much like Pot of Desire. Not quite as divisive, because there were a lot of people that looked at it and said, holy crap, this is just going to make every kind of like slow deck that doesn't need the special summon like way more consistent, because now we can get to our warnings faster, we can get to our power cards like, you know, Black Wings, we can get the Black Whirlwind quicker. If you're playing like Hero Beat, which actually I remember a YCS finals was actually like, it was literally Hero Beat versus Black Wings, if you can like imagine that. But you know, we can get to like our Gemini Sparks earlier, we can get to our Solemns, you know, our Hero Blast, and all our power cards like Miracle Fusion or whatever. And a lot of people kind of looked at the downsides of Pot of Duality. They were like, this card's overhyped, my opponent gets to know what card I got so they can play around it, I don't get the special summon, I don't like it. So it was actually very comparable. But what happened was Pot of Duality actually ended up going to like $120, and I fear that could be what's gonna happen with Pot of Desires there, because like there are so many decks that can just benefit from this. Like DDD are probably most definitely gonna run at least a couple of copies, and there are so many decks in the meta, as I've said before countless times, that can run everything at 3. Like, yeah, there are Monarchs and there are like PK where, you know, some of your key cards like Pantheism and Seer and Graph and, you know, Erebus, or excuse me, Aether, they're like limited to 1, Stormwolf, whatever. You can't really necessarily afford to banish one of those cards, because I wouldn't want to play Monarchs like an entire duel with no Stormwolf. Like, that would fucking suck. But a lot of these other decks, like, you know, DDDs and Blue Eyes and maybe even ABCs, if you want to be spicy, like all of them can pretty much run 3 of everything except like Regeki and Soul Charge. So you can pretty much afford to play this card at least at 2 in a whole bunch of other decks. So let me know what you guys think. I think this is crazy. I gotta go on Twitch and see if there's like an ARG happening right now, because I'm not understanding this, and I don't even think this is like some like, I don't think this is gonna come down either, because I've actually been thinking about it. I think Pot of Duality, or excuse me, Pot of Desires is one of the best investments in the game right now because, I mean, it just literally came out. It's not going to get reprinted for at least 6 months. Honestly, the earliest Konami would be even able to reprint this is, well, the Dark Illusion Special Edition cards have already been announced, so it can't be in that. So I don't know when they'd be able to print this. Probably not until next year. And I don't know, a lot of times I couldn't imagine this would be in like the Gold Series. Maybe it would be in like next year's Mega Pack, but that's an entire year away as we just got this year. So I think this card is like a super solid investment. And even on the next ban list, which probably wouldn't be until February, I mean, what's the worst that they can do? They're not going to limit this card right away. Chances are they would do the same thing that they did with Duality, or that they did with Solemn Warning, where they would move the card to 2 and then kind of take it from there. With Pot of Duality, it was at 3 obviously when it came out. Then eventually, because everybody was playing it and everything, it went to 2, and then eventually it ended up going back to 3. So even if it did get semi-limited, like, it would still be extremely playable, because I think 2 is probably the best number anyway. So let me know what you guys think. This shit is crazy. If you know anybody selling any Pot of Desires for like $50 or $60, you might want to just pick them up and just reflip them. I know that sounds a little money hungry, like a bad thing, as if making money is terrible or something like that, but if you really need them, or if you have any aspirations of playing like DDD or any of these crazy decks that need draw support, pick these cards up now, because I think they're going to stay at $100 for a while, because I don't know, man. It's been shown throughout Yu-Gi-Oh's history that, I mean, people call it a dead game or whatever. We've had so many $100 cards. Tour Guide, Draco Sack, Spellbook of Judgment, Big Eye, what's another one? Top of my tongue, Necros of Brionic, Valkyris wasn't quite 100, but we've had so many $100 cards and we don't have one. So I don't know. Maybe this is this year's $100 card. Anyways, thank you guys for watching as always. Let me know in the comment section below why you guys think that this happened, because I really don't have a clue. And usually when I make these videos, I have some sort of idea why something happened, but I really don't with this video. Thank you guys for watching as always. Thumbs up the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Sorry guys, I know I said this was the end, but there was one more thing. I found this auction just to prove how crazy this shit is, right? So these are Pot of Desires. I guess he originally listed 4 of them. They're basically $65 with $3 shipping, $68 for a Desire, which is already, basic, almost about $15 more than what they costed a day ago. And 3 of them have sold in the last hour. Like, man, if you see any cheap Pot of Desires, guys, if you go on site and they're under like $70, just go ahead and pick it up, because I think that they're going to be really expensive. And also, the seller who sold me these Pot of Desires, if you don't ship my cards, I'm going to fart on your cat. You better ship me these damn cards.